said she got on these raggedy slides. And she tells Robyn, don't look at my feet. I forgot my shoes. Good. Because you mean and you nasty. And God knew what you had planned for the day to keep a mess between Wendy and Karen. So he said, you know what? It wasn't like the shoes was cute anyway. I can almost guarantee the shoes was a total fail. Hi guys, it's Simone and this is Being Simone Iman. Thank you for visiting my channel. First things first, if you're a recurring visitor, go ahead and click the subscribe button. Please thumbs up this video because I'm giving it how I see it. How I call it is how I see it, and I just really enjoy doing these videos, and I'm really starting to build a community here of people who are not always like-minded but just as outgoing and outspoken as I am, and I can appreciate that. So with no further ado, let's get into this week's episode. So this is Real Housewives of Potomac review and recap of season 5 episode 14, I believe. It's something about hats. They calling it something about hats. Robyn in these ugly ass DH Gate AliExpress hats. But I'm not knocking her hustle. Anyway, the episode starts off with Candiace, child, in this singing career. And I would say she's delusional, but Chucky Thompson believes in her. So if he said so. She's in there with her friend Cliff, Candiace, Chucky. Damn, Chris. She don't know nobody that name no start with a C. She's in there practicing singing in her Jordans, child, looking all wrong with that beaded sweater and that beaded headband. Although I did really love the headband though. She's talking about how music and singing is her release when she's going through such tough times. Girl, you would swear Monique sent her to the hospital, black to eye and all of that. You got your wig pulled. Anyway, I'm just tired of the crying. Grow up. I'm tired of the crying. Honestly, I am. And Candiace math didn't add up when she was talking about knowing her friend for 15 years, because she's 33, which means she was in college. Well, yeah, it did add up. She was in college at 18, so that's 15 years. That's 15 years. Anyway, Giselle and Robyn and Karen meet up for a tea. Giselle walks up in this Chewbacca vest, child, a mess. And then she said she got on these raggedy slides. And she tells Robyn, don't look at my feet. I forgot my shoes. Good. Because you mean and you nasty. And God knew what you had planned for the day to keep a mess between Wendy and Karen. So he said, you know what? It wasn't like the shoes was cute anyway. I can almost guarantee the shoes was a total fail. And just her style is just, that's the thing. There's no style. She just picks stuff up, and if it costs more than $100, she like, ooh, this killing it. Robyn comes in her beaded jacket, and they immediately start talking about getting their story together about how they gonna confront Karen about her 20-year marriage, 20+ year marriage, her institution. And y'all struggling to keep it together with these men that y'all been dealing with for the last 20 years. And here she is, an institution of marriage. And y'all got the nerve to question it? Girl, come on. Karen and Ray didn't make it this far by chance. Anyway, the footage we see Karen, now look, when I love Bravo produces Truly Television. When they do the back, you know, what is it called, backtrack, flashback of what the actual conversations were, I live. Honestly, when Karen said she wanted her money back, it was like, girl, you know, I want my money back. Like, they were all laughing. It was in a joking manner. It wasn't like a, he took my money and I just want my money back. Like, no. And I feel like anybody in a committed relationship, a marriage, when y'all are going in, shit, sometimes I do want my money back. Do I ask for it? No. But what's yours is mine and what's mine is ours. So, you know, it's cool. I don't think that woman is hurt because Ray ain't gave her her money back. And if she told Ray she wanted her money back, what y'all think Ray would do? Sorry. Ray would give her her money back. Anyway, Wendy asked Giselle if she's going to tell Karen what she has said, because Wendy shares that, you know, Karen told all of this in Lovecraft Country when they went to go spend the weekend with Monique. And Karen, you know, she was on that fireball, and she spilled her guts to all the women, not just Wendy. And when Wendy asked Giselle if she was gonna bring the bone back, what did Giselle say? No. So you lying, First Lady, on national television? Oh, okay. Skirt. Let's follow. I'm not gonna keep reading Giselle on her fashions because it's too easy at this point. But the canary yellow prom dress with the arm cuff and the bad wig, good night. Karen walks in, and when they're playing Karen's interview footage, you know, her discernment, especially when it comes to Giselle and Robyn, but mostly Giselle, is spot on. She knows she can't trust them no farther than she can throw them. She knows she has to film scenes with them because they're the nucleus, you know, the centerpiece of the cast, those three. You know, she did what needed to be done. I'm gonna have a conversation with you girls, but I don't trust you, and I know half this shit is lies. And she says this later on when she's talking to Wendy. It's context. It's all about context. And Giselle is a master manipulator when it comes to bringing back the bone, carrying the bone, but absolutely representing the truth on a whole other spectrum than it was actually provided to her. Like, her spin, girl, she can make the most honest, thorough conversation nasty, mean, and salacious. It's really a hidden talent. She missed her calling. She should have been a lawyer. She should have got 4 degrees like Wendy. Giselle asked Robyn about her hat business, and you know, you have to be very careful about friends like Giselle. Just like how Giselle came to her open house last year and wrecked shop, she calls her hat company Embezzle. Who don't know they friend? Good friend. Good enough friend for you to go with my man to pick my wedding ring, friend. How you don't know the name of her company is Embellished? And if I didn't know what it was called, I absolutely wouldn't call it Embezzled. Especially when I know she's like in white collar crime trouble, in tax trouble. It's very shady, very nice, nasty. And I think Karen picked up on it very quickly. Like, you notice Karen didn't laugh. Karen was like, you know, I'm outdone. At this point, girl, this your friend. And Embezzle? Ugh. Child, you gotta watch her. Robyn says that she wants the women to come and model her hats because she's the only one in the iPhone photos on the website. Okay. So y'all come do this free label of love for me. Karen asks her, you know, well, are all the ladies invited? Are you inviting Monique? And Robyn's like, no, I'm just not really cool with how things went down. I.e., Giselle said, no, this is not a part of the plan. We icing her out, so no, she's not invited. I think, you know, they're skirting into, you know, Embezzled, the hat business and all of this. And Karen been, like she said, she was sitting on ready. She been sitting on ready to ask Robyn about these taxes. And you know, it's something about Robyn and Giselle. Giselle, where is your shirt, Giselle? In my, where is your Scooter Nene Lee's voice? Where is your shirt? Because when Karen, and it wasn't even Karen, when Ray was in tax trouble, you humiliated those people on national television. This girl owed the IRS $100,000. And y'all are hush hush. Ain't got nothing to say. Later on in her confessional, she totally downplays it, like, oh, it's $1,200, $4,000. If the woman owed the IRS $1,200 and it done made it to the blogs, that's an even bigger problem. Bitch, you ain't got $1,200 for these people? The producers was like, no, it's $90,000, and she erupts in laughter. I'm telling you, with friends like Giselle, who needs enemies, child? Especially in Potomac. Karen is so mature. Karen's like, I'm not celebrating this. I got you. I support you. And of course, Robyn totally downplays it. Oh, in the next 3 months, the lien will be lifted. So we hope. So we hope. I wonder today if Karen's still in tax debt. And that says the lien will be lifted. So that means she probably paid 20% down. You still owe. You see, she was like, I was paying taxes, I just wasn't paying enough. You misreported your income. You was trying to get over on Uncle Sam. Come on, girl, I'm done. Too much. Karen is better than me because I would have dragged Robyn. Okay, I would have had a shirt on up under that sequins jumpsuit. Free Robyn. One thing I did notice though, Karen's a lip filler. Karen fills them lips, honey. Them lips is on pucker schmucker, okay? Them lips are very much giving like Kylie Jenner tease. Anyway, Karen talks about, yeah, just being supportive, being basically saying I'm gonna be better to y'all than y'all was to me. And Giselle's like, oh, that's so nice, Karen. Karen's nice. You the one that ain't. Giselle then brings back to Karen the things that Wendy said. Wendy is the girl in school who's really tall, really awkward, really smart. No one really likes her, and she just wants to fit in. So she's, you know, going back and forth, shishing, giving all this information she knows about every cast member to the leader of the group, Giselle, to the pink lady, and not really seeing how she's being manipulated to keep a mess amongst the group. Like, Giselle is literally putting a battery in her back about everybody. Basically, like, she's working her up to feel some type of way, to be in attack mode, and it's really crazy to me that she doesn't recognize it. I hope sitting back watching the season with the rest of us, Wendy is able to discern, okay, Giselle full of shit. Like, half the things that Wendy has reacted to is totally unwarranted, but when you get the information that's half truth, half beefed up for no reason, you know, half truth, half, what am I trying to say? Not embellished, child. But yeah, embellishment. Like, it's too much. Like, that's not what was said. She's lying, and she's putting this battery pack in your back to go and confront all these women about untrue things, untrue statements. Anyway, when Karen imitated Wendy, that was the funniest thing on this episode, because that is absolutely, and Bravo just kept playing it back, that is absolutely how Wendy came down them stairs, baby. Them knees, them heels, them stairs, it was a lethal combination, okay? Ultimately, Karen says that she and Wendy will be fine because it's about respect, and they'll have a conversation about respect. Karen knows that it's not, she says later on in the scene where Wendy called herself confronting her, I'm not even worried about Wendy. It's you, Giselle. I know how you are. You say things, you add, you take away. Her game with telephone is awful, but purposefully though. She ain't trying to tell the truth. She wants y'all to be fussing. This is something that I noticed about these women too, and I hope I'm able to articulate this the way it's in my mind. So when they were talking to Karen, and Karen was like, you know, she's not a medical doctor, she has a PhD, they were like, nobody said she was a medical doctor. They're very passive aggressive in their shadiness. And it's like Karen does such a good job of staying on topic, staying on focus when she wants to express what she wants to talk about with these women. Karen is not saying, no one thought she was a medical doctor. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she can't pass judgment on Monique whether or not she blacked out, if she's in a fit of rage. She doesn't have an expertise in this area, so she can't say that this did not happen to Monique. And that is what Karen was trying to articulate. What Karen did articulate, honestly. But what they like to do is they like to immediately interject, make light of a situation, make you look silly so that they look like they have a stance and a basis, and like what they're saying is more important. Like, so silly, nobody said she was a medical doctor, obviously. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she is not equipped to diagnose or undiagnose or say that this is not what occurred with Monique, and that's simply stated. Anyway, I just don't like when they do that. Robyn and Giselle do that a lot. They interject and they overtalk a situation to discredit what you're saying. But I love the fact that Karen always stays on course. She never misses a beat. We got to Wendy got most scenes with this little family. All her scenes are with her little boys. I hate all Wendy's confessional looks. That green with that black and those clips on that wig is horrible. She needs a better bra. Wendy needs a better bra, period. Wendy had on that pink dress and I could see all the lip of her bra. I could see her cups like too full, her boobs spilling over, and in her confessional look, them titties was hanging. It's all wrong. She needs to go to La Perla or she needs to go to Victoria's Secret and get fitted for a bra. Come on, sis. That's another thing you need to put on your list that you need to fix if you get picked up for the next season. Then they show the montage of her. She said, I don't brag about my degrees. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's too much. And we get it. And we happy for you. We proud. But girl, my next point, I'm going to save it until we do the whole confrontation with Karen. But girl, don't nobody care. But I can appreciate the value she's instilling in her boys, talking about integrity, making sure that they're grounded, that they're focused, that they understand the importance of education. All positive things. There's nothing negative that you can say about Wendy, how she's raising her children. Now, if she come back next season, we're going to have to explore this relationship with her in-laws a little bit more, but we'll let her have it this season. We'll let her push her narrative this season. But other people are starting to push back on the blogs, and they saying that's not the case. Like, Wendy, you're not telling the truth, so. Anyway, Ashley goes to the doctor and goes to see her therapist, as if we haven't seen her in enough therapy sessions. But this is serious. Ashley absolutely has postpartum depression. That questionnaire is something that is done across the board nationwide when it comes to pediatrics and gynecology. Even at your pediatrician, they ask you those questions about if you're crying, if you're sad, if you're motivated. And she failed. Ashley absolutely has postpartum depression, and that shit with Michael don't make it no better at all. Candiace goes to the studio. Anyway, Chucky bust out the bottle of Ace. I loved his toast. May all our pain be champagne. I'm stealing it. I'm coining it. It's mine. Thank you, Chucky. But congratulations to Candiace on being signed. I can't wait to see what the rest of her music sounds like, because I'm tired of Happy Birthday. And we go to Monique. Finally, we get to see Monique, and I mean, Monique knew this was going to happen, that Candiace was going to immediately. Like, Monique probably called her lawyer that night or the next morning, as she should. But I can see her being super troubled. Like, is this shit serious enough for me to be taken away from my kids or arrested in front of my kids? And I saw a Instagram, I believe it was an Instagram live interview that Candiace was doing with I don't know who. And she basically said that was her ultimate goal. Like, she wanted Monique to have to explain to her children why she was going to jail. Low down, dirty dog. Like, even if I felt that way, y'all, I would never say that, honestly, because those kids don't have nothing to do with what's going on between her and Monique. They are innocent bystanders. And granted, if Monique got to pay a couple $1,000s, if she got to pay a fine, that's one thing. But do those children deserve to have their mother taken away? Do they deserve the trauma of watching their mother be arrested at their home? Like, Candiace, stall me out. Candiace is venomous on Instagram Live. Like, she needs to get off of social media, because that's not good for her brand at all. Ashley goes to visit Giselle in the $1 Million Teardown, child, with the coochie hair ponytail. And one thing about Ashley, she gonna bring that baby. Dean is just scrumptious. Ashley tells Giselle all her business about what's going on with Michael. Now, you know Giselle putting that in her little file cabinet in her mind to use against Ashley at a later date. I wouldn't tell Giselle what time it is, let alone anything personal to me. She's questioning Ashley about feeding Dean, and she's like, oh, you gonna breastfeed? Like, aren't you 50? Why is a woman breastfeeding in front of you so cringy to you? Get over it. Ashley basically tells her that she discovers in her therapy session that a trip would be good for her, and she's planning to invite all the women. And Giselle immediately says, except Monique. And basically she confirms that there's this alliance against Monique, because she's like, well, if Monique going, then you know Candiace ain't going, I'm not going, and that means Robyn and Wendy ain't going either. It's an alliance. They don't want her there. They was already plotting on her at Andy's baby shower. And I'm so upset with Monique about this. She just gave them another angle to get rid of her, to ice her out of the group. And I hate it for her. But these are consequences, and that's what we have. Robyn in these hats. So Robyn does the photo shoot for the hats. None of this was interesting. The most interesting thing was that the model looked just like Katie. She absolutely looked like Katie Ross. They asked the model if people asked her if she looks like Katie Ross, and she's like, who? They laughing at her low key. If they asked her if she looked like Giselle Bryant or Robyn Dixon, she would say, who? She only know your name, Robyn, because you're gonna sign the check, we hope, or send the cash out. Get over yourselves. Giselle and Robyn immediately put the gas of Wendy and put the battery in her back to talk shit to Karen. She was like, what? Like she told another one, she called you a floozy freelancer. She did not. Oh, she said, you're not a surgeon. You don't have a cure for cancer. You don't have a cure for AIDS. She said nothing of the sort. But what do we expect from Giselle? That's what Giselle gives us time and time again. Candiace shows up and they act like they're so fake happy to see her, but episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they couldn't stand her ass. It's like, how do y'all not recognize that these girls are manipulating y'all against one another so they don't have to touch their storylines too much and we can focus on y'all and y'all drama? Like, Robyn's taxes deserves an episode or two. Like, the way they did Karen about raised tax issues, like, but they just skimming over that, oh, no big deal. Because they get to focus on the fact that none of y'all like each other. And they created this situation. It's ridiculous. Wendy doesn't speak to Karen when she arrives, and you know, they miss telling Wendy that, oh, Karen wasn't just the fool la la talking about you for no good reason. We instigated and incited what happened. We were talking about you as well. Not negatively, but we brought you up. It wasn't like Karen was just out here willy-nilly talking junk on you. Not the case. The women then go to the back and they do a photo shoot because Robyn doesn't have the budget to hire more than one model. And then Ashley brings out the flag for the trip, and of course Dr. Wendy guessed that it was Portugal, but she said it's because she watches soccer and that makes sense. And then they talk about not inviting Monique, and when Ashley talks about it in her confessional, of course they don't like to break the fourth wall, right? They don't want to say production said we can't, but at the end of the day, that's a production call. They're not going to send Monique on a trip out of the country with these women, and they got legal issues going on between them. So a lot of people are like, Ashley's not a real friend. That wasn't Ashley call. She ain't paying for that trip. And these hoes do not go on international trips outside of Bravo. Okay? None of them. Maybe Ashley does, but I ain't never seen Candiace Instagram out of the country. Giselle nor Robyn either. Anyway, Wendy's on this high horse about her education and her 4 degrees, and she's going in on Karen. Did I say that she said she wants to clear the air? Anyway, y'all watched it. That's what she had said. And Karen laughs at her when she says, it's with you, Karen, like obviously. And she knows why. She knows that Giselle brought it back to her and flipped it, smacked it, and drug it on down. And she's just like, okay, but you are ignorant. She seems to feel like there's, you know, no room for her to be ignorant. There's all the room in the world for you to be ignorant when you do make those kind of ignorant statements. She's not straddling the fence. She's supporting her friend. What is wrong with that? And this is the thing with Wendy. Wendy likes to be on this whole pedestal of supporting black women, but you're not doing that for Monique. Whether she was right or wrong, you're continually dragging her down. She's a human being just like the rest of the world. Find it in, you don't even know these people. You can't find it in your heart to be unbiased and say, girl, you messed up. But I'm not gonna ice you out, talk shit about you, leave you out, join a mean girl club just for the hell of it, just because that's what the majority is doing. Come on, girl. Anyway, Wendy and Karen are going back and forth, and Wendy talks about being educated and her husband being educated, and she's talking out both sides of her neck. It's not making much sense. She just wants to argue for the sake of arguing. I hope she watches this season back and realizes how unnecessarily she overreacted so many times. Karen reads her down about having common sense. You can't buy it. And at the end of the day, y'all made it to the same destination. So no matter the path, both of y'all on Real Housewives of Potomac getting the same coin and check. Karen probably getting more than you. So what is your point? Half the world don't have degrees. Only 2% of people have PhDs. Congratulations to you, but what's it to you? Like, does it matter? No. Go use that go use it then. Get off Housewives of Potomac if you so educated. And scene, because I'm tired of talking about it. And then we get to see Candiace have an entire meltdown and cuss out her husband like he's Monique, because Monique counters. And what else was she supposed to do? She's paying for that legal advice. She better use it. And like Chris said, we knew this was gonna happen, so chill. But see, she's so nasty. You dumb bitch. Her hood friends, y'all know how I don't like hood shaming. That whole hood shaming shit, I'm not for it. I don't mess with it. I think it's so anti-black and self-hating. I don't like it. But anyway, that was the episode. I'm hoping that their trip episodes are more exciting, because honestly, Potomac is not giving me what I thought it was gonna give. I mean, it's cool every week, but it's just like, okay, we're gonna watch this until Housewives of Atlanta come on in December. But it is what it is. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. I hope you made it all the way through. Look, my Potomac recaps are always like almost 30 minutes. Last week I had vertigo so bad. I did a late upload. If you missed it, please go back and watch it. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video next week. Bye.